Assalamu alaikum friends, this time this channel will present stories about Muhammad al-Idrisi al-Qurtubi, the creator of the world's first map, quoted from various sources. Okay, for more details, let's just look at the complete story as follows. Sharif Abu Abdullah Muhammad al-Idrisi al-Qurtubi al-Hassani al-Sabti, or in short al-Latin, Idrisis, 1100 to 1165 or 1166, was an expert in geography, cartography, meteorology, and traveler who lived in Sicily, precisely at the palace King Roger II. Muhammad al-Idrisi was born in the North African city of Ceuta, Sabta, which was part of the Murabidan Empire and died in Sicily. Al-Idrisi is a descendant of the Idrisiya rulers in Morocco, who were descendants of Hassan bin Ali, son of Ali and grandson of the Prophet Muhammad. Idrisi was born in the North African city of Ceuta, Sabta, which was part of the Murabidan Empire and died in Sicily in 1160 AD. Al-Idrisi's education was obtained in Andalusia. Growing up in Ceuta, young Al-Idrisi traveled to Islamic Spain, Portugal, France, and England. He visited Anatolia when he was only 16 because of the conflict and instability in Andalusia. He then united with his contemporaries in Sicily, where the Normans had subdued the Arabs who had once been loyal to the Fatimid Caliphate. According to Ibn Jubair, the Normans tolerated and protected Arab families in exchange of knowledge. John Bloch Friedman and Kristen Mosler-Fig said that al-Idrisi was one of the descendants of the Prophet Muhammad. This is stated in the book, Trade, Travel, and Exploration in the Middle Ages and Encyclopedia, 2010, 14. In Medieval Islamic Civilization, an Encyclopedia, 379, by Joseph W. Mary also mentions the same thing. When he was 16 years old, he visited Asia Minor. Thereafter, al-Idrisi traveled along the southern coast of France, visited England, and traveled extensively in Spain and Morocco. Apart from collecting personal experience, he diligently collected geographical data throughout the world in various ways. Starting from asking traders and tourists, to coming up with an antithesis that criticized previous geographers. Anwar ul-Haq, from the Department of Pathology AJK Medical College, AJK University, in his article entitled, Muhammad al-Idrisi Father of Modern Geography and Maps, explains that al-Idrisi's adventures to various parts of the world made his name increasingly popular. European sea navigators and military planners were familiar with his name. Until finally King Roger II, a king in Sicily of Normandy descent, invited him. At that time, 1138 AD, a special meeting between a Christian king and a Muslim scientist took place in the royal palace of Sicily. The Muslim scientist was also invited to sit in a place of honor. The two of them then talked in a meeting that could be said to be unusual. Why not? When Muslims fought jihad against the Crusaders in Jerusalem, two opposing civilizations actually sat side by side in harmony in Sicily, the former Islamic territory. King Roger II invited al-Idrisi to his magnificent palace to have a map made by the Muslim scientist. In that era, there were no European Christian geographers and cartographers who were qualified to make an accurate world map. At that time, Western geographers and cartographers still used symbolic and fantasy approaches, said Frances Carney GIE in her writing entitled Al-Idrisi and Roger's book. This approach, which is still related to mystical and traditional, made King Roger look for Idrisi to fulfill his ambition of making an accurate world map. In that historic meeting, King Roger II and al-Idrisi agreed to create the first accurate world map. The big project was planned. The project to make a world map will be completed within 15 years. In order to realize his ambition, a Geographers' Academy was founded, led by King Roger II and al-Idrisi. The mega-project to make a world map involved 12 scholars, 10 of whom were Muslim scientists. It was a blessing for al-Idrisi to be able to work on making the map in the city of Palermo, because, in that city, navigators from various regions such as the Mediterranean, Atlantic, and Northern waters often met. Al-Idrisi dug up information from every navigator who was resting in Palermo. Then, he and his team interviewed and explored the experiences of the navigators. Explanations from one navigator will be confronted with other navigators. The results of the study were then formulated. Over the years, Al-Idrisi distilled the facts he managed to collect. He only uses the clearest information and explanations as a reference for making maps. As the deadline approached, the map that King Roger II wanted was finally completed, in 1154 AD. When the king no longer took an active part, I finished this map, explained Al-Idrisi in the introduction to the book Nuzhat al-Mustaq fi Iqtirak al-Afaq, which he wrote. As a geographer who believes that the earth is round, Al-Idrisi brilliantly made a map of the earth's ball, aka a silver globe. The globe he created weighed around 400 kilograms. In the globe, Al-Idrisi describes 6 continents equipped with trade routes, lakes, rivers, main cities, land and mountains. Not only that, the globe he made also contains precise information about distance, length and height. In order to complete the globe he designed, Al-Idrisi also wrote a book entitled Al-Kitab al-Rajari or Roger's Book, which was dedicated to the king. Apart from writing Roger's book, Al-Idrisi also completed writing the book Nuzhat al-Mushtaq fi Iqtirak al-Afaq. This is a geographic encyclopedia containing detailed maps and information about countries in Europe, Africa and Asia. After that, he also compiled a more comprehensive encyclopedia entitled Radunas wa Nuzhat al-Nafs. While dedicating himself to Sicily, Al-Idrisi has made nearly 70 maps of areas that were not previously recorded on maps. 2 centuries before Marco Polo explored the ocean, he had included entire continents such as Europe, Asia, Africa, and northern Ecuador on the map he created. So friends, that's all the story about Muhammad Al-Idrisi Al-Qurtubi, creator of the world's first map that can be presented. We apologize if there are any errors in the description or image presented, because it is only intended to sweeten the story so that it is easier to understand. Thank you for watching. Wassalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.